here's something that I learned. Every floor has to have its own wire coming back to the FACP. It cannot come through here and go here and go here and come back. It doesn't see those as separate lines going to separate floors. Now I turned this layer off, and I want to put these on a certain layer so that they don't show up like this on my drawing. And I created a layer that's down here called Floor Connections. So I'm going to right click on it and go to Properties and go to General and put it on Floor Connections. And that way I can, this floor connection wire, that way I can actually turn that off so that that doesn't show up in my diagram. I mean, it really, you know, all we're showing, these right here are junction box wires, just to show that it's going to go to a junction box, and then the junction box is going to go over here and then cut, you know, from each level and hook into the FACP. So that's how they're going to connect in a dummy way. This is how they're connecting in a real way for our circuit. And so I had to disconnect these and reconnect these again, because after I deleted the circuit, I had to disconnect all these, and so they didn't have names anymore. Then I had to reconnect them. And now the only situation that we have is that we don't know what these are connected. There's some connection problem here. And so if we go over here to the system layout and you look at it, these are not connected. They're connected to SLC1, but they're not connected to anything else, therefore they're not monitoring anything else, I guess. And so you have here the 3 modules that are here, and you can see that they have normally open or normally closed circuits. So I went in and I assigned the wires to those, to these modules, to the module circuit, C1 or C2. I don't know which one this is, to set it, if it's going to be normally open, normally closed, and then how does it get any kind of signal, where's the input coming from. So that's the thing that, and I think it was on card 1 that I looked at, that went to, this is C1. So anyway, these are the only ones that, so once again, I'm going to show you my settings for the riser. I did change it a little bit. Riser details, I changed it to split devices and cables, split resulting polylines. And we could have it not do that, but it just terminates. But go to circuit priority here, and then make sure that you change this to floor, because this is what it's going to be labeled as. And then say get levels, and that should have all those. I couldn't get rid of one here. I did change these to be a little bit closer, and you can make this only like, you know, 12 inches. I changed it to 18 from 24 because it's just 1 or 2 symbols on a floor. So when I say OK on that, it's going to run that again, and we'll see what that looks like. It will always create a separate file, so you can see that I saved that CAD file for the riser. And it's still telling me appliances whose circuit is missing, sources for circuits are okay. And so now I've got everything in here. And so I don't like these being down below here, so I just pulled them out here. Here's 2. Remote module. This one is for our smoke, and then this one, once again, is a remote module. So, and then here's our heat on 2nd floor, 1st floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor. and they're all coming back into P1. So what I had done is I just moved this, and it will move all willy-nilly until you hold down shift. That makes it go absolutely horizontal or perpendicular or vertical, and then I'll just bring these up here. And just, that all goes to that first panel. And I don't know why these are oriented the way they are, but still, it looks pretty good, and that's kind of what I did right here. And then I saved it. Now I'm going to take I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to copy it. Let's see if I can copy it. Control C. Let's go in here and see if I can put this on a page. Maybe on a reports page. Control V to paste. There it is right there. It's all one symbol. So I can bring this up. And that's my riser diagram. So when it pastes in, it all becomes one unit, and then when you move it, then you can separate it out and change it. Well, there's my second reports page. So you see that I got rid of the data page. Here's my report 1. Well, let's see what it's doing here. It takes it a minute. There are all my reports showing up there. Need some more reports. But I can right click on this and duplicate the sheet. That will make it a report 2. And it makes it 1-1. Check this out. This is all got to come back over here. You see how it's looking in the same spot. So I'll right click and rename it to report 2. But now this needs to say fire alarm 4. Go to text box. Oh, it's doing that same thing to me. It's acting like it's something else. There it is. And you see how small this is? I don't know what's going on with the graphics settings for my computer. But this thing right here, when it's showing the variable, I go to View. Let's see, Settings, Drawing, View, and then we have to resolve text fields. These are fields like variables, and I'll say OK. And now that's updated. So it really is a smart variable, but this didn't rename. I think I have to hit enter. So there are my 4 sheets. So this isn't looking for at the other report page. So I'm going to right click on that and go to properties. If you go to view, you can see that I have all those callouts. It's the green boxes. So I'm going to go to report 2 and say OK. And there's report 2. It's already set up to be a certain scale. So it's already 1/8 scale. If you want to make it bigger, I guess you can. You can take off. But that's in the setup in the capture. So if you didn't want to do that, you want to delete that, you can just delete it. And then you can go to Tools and put in a view. And you're going to just put it in the whole of the page. And then you would zoom in on what you want and then scale that view. So you have to click on that to zoom in and then to pan around to be inside this. There we go. And I want to zoom in here. Just put it in the middle of your screen. Zoom in, and then that's a little bit bigger. And then I'll hold down Shift and my middle mouse button, and that makes me be able to pan. It's kind of a pain. And then I'll right click on this view. So this is a view. I'll right click and go to properties of that. And it's going to be a custom scale. When I lock the camera, it just locks down that area to look at. I don't need it to be a certain scale. But then over in Stretchbox, I want to turn that border off. And now I don't have two borders. And you see that that's locked. The camera is locked there, so I can't do anything to it. So that's what I found out.